Hello and welcome, my beautiful, vibrant souls, to these full moon messages, this pick a card reading. Welcome back to all of my old friends, and hello and welcome to all my new friends. I'm really, really happy to have you here. So today's reading is going to be a pick a card all about this new moon. Wow. Okay. You can just put me to bed now. This full moon in Leo that we have coming up. I think it would be, well, at the time I'm recording this, it's today. So this would be the 17th, February 17th, 2022. There we go. So yeah, this is actually going to be something I was kind of inspired to do a little bit differently. So this first sort of segment of the reading is going to be talking about this full moon, what it means, just kind of giving a little bit of background information. But then I wanted to do something a little special. So I took all of the cards whenever, I've already shuffled all your cards for all three piles, 1, 2, and 3. And the timestamps for these piles are going to be in the description box below. But this first segment, all of the decks, I took the card off the bottom of the deck, and this is going to be the collective reading. So the first, little bit here is going to be the reading for the collective. You are welcome to watch all of it, watch, for the collective and then the pile of your choice. You are welcome to skip the reading for the collective and just head toward your, toward your selected choice, or, whatever feels right to you in your beautiful little heart and soul. So as I mentioned, for those of you who just want to skip ahead right now and get your full moon related messages, we have piles 1, 2, and 3. Timestamps are going to be in the description box below. Excuse me. All right, I got one cough, you guys. Sorry. Oh, that was a good one. Glad I used it on that one. That was a good one. But yeah, so let's get into this. So full moons in general, what are we dealing with here? Full moons are about several different things. They're kind of about, they're a culmination, right? Something has come full circle. If you've ever gotten a personal reading with me, you've heard my whole spiel, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. And actually, as a side note, I do want to say, if you're interested in a reading about this full moon energy for yourself personally, I do offer those readings. The link for that, along with my shop link, are going to be in the description box below. But full moons are all about, like I said, things coming to fruition. Sorry, I'm super sniffly right now. Oh my gosh. A culmination point. This is also something, like I said, coming full circle. This is a celebration. This is a manifestation. And this also can signify the release of something. And because the full moon is the most luminous of all the moon phases, I also think this is something where you're getting the most insight possible on something that might kind of be either a little shadowy, a little bit unclear, or something kind of in your blind spot. So any or all of these things could be taking place for you over the next full, the lunar month that follows this full moon. Excuse me. And if you're not sure, after we go through, your pile selection, if you're not really sure what that would look like, another helpful hint is to kind of think back 6 months ago, roughly, at the new moon in the same sign, and kind of figure out what was going on in your life, right? We're always setting our intentions, whether we do so, pardon the phrase, intentionally or not. We're always setting our intentions. So whatever you were working on, whatever was on your mind, whatever you were trying to make happen 6 months ago, it would be useful to kind of meditate on that, because for, like, in my, personal estimation, we set our intentions at the new moon, and then 6 months later, when we get to the full moon in the same sign, it's either, a big step forward toward that manifestation, a manifestation's coming into being, or major blockages that are preventing your manifestation are coming up to be addressed. So thinking back to what was going on in your life, what you were working on about 6 months ago, may be a particularly helpful, what's the word, you guys? Exercise. So yeah, so full moon in Leo in general. Leo rules the 5th house. This is the house of creativity, of hobbies, passions, inspirations. This is also the house of romance, darling. So, any or all of these may be topics that, or energies that are kind of going through some type of shift for you this month. It also is helpful to look if you have any significant Leo placements. That's the area of life this may impact. But just in general, this is something where you're either getting something coming full circle, or there's a manifestation, or there's, this blockages regarding these topics are coming up, right? So if you have been struggling in your romantic life, you know, maybe you're looking for more passion, more romance in your relationship. This might come up for you this month. If you've been looking to find a new hobby you can get really excited about, really inspired, this might also come up during this full moon, you know, or any blockages toward, you know, you're just lacking that inspiration. Any blockages in that kind of an area might come up, so you can, you know, you can kind of work around those or put those blockages to rest. So any or all of these topics could kind of be coming up. Now, like I said, I took the cards off the bottom of all the decks that I shuffled, and this is going to be the collective energy. So, yeah. I had a burp stuck. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm like, oh gosh, I was eating cucumbers and tomato, like cucumber tomato salad earlier, and it was delicious, but now I'm full of burps. So sorry. Okay, so we have, first of all, let me see if you can see that in the frame. Yeah. Okay, so we have transition. This is card 43 that reduces to a 7. And this one says, the frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. I'm just going to be like kind of lightly stacking them up here because they're, yeah, I'm trying to keep the piles in place. We have, the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. I love it. We have isolation. Ah! I'm throwing stuff around. We have creativity. Can you see that? With creativity guides, this is card 37 that reduces to a 10/1. We have the 10 of Cups reversed. And then we have the Peruvian Lily with strength. More effort will get you what you want. I love this too because with the strength, this makes me think of the strength card in the tarot, which is Leo energy. So we have big Leo energy coming out here with the creativity card, that reference to strength. But I feel like it's more than just that. So something I'm really drawn to first and foremost is that we have this lovely rainbow image here. Well, it's not quite a full-on rainbow, but it's very similar on the creativity card. We also have a butterfly, so that's transformative energy. God, that's a hot candle. My God. And butterfly energies are kind of very similar to this transformation, transition, Scorpio 8th house kind of energy, right? And then we have these, like, you know, this almost little rainbow in all the little cups here that this little kitty is all about. So this might be a creative project. This is just something where I feel like, another thing I wanted to mention too, again, we have 37, so that's a 10/1. I feel like you guys have been in this place, especially with another 10, where this thing that used to make you really, really happy has ended. And again, this might be some type of like creative self-expression. And I feel like with the butterflies here, there's this awareness that this is for your transformation. For some of you, this might be the, you know, the culmination of a relationship with this isolation card. But in general, what I kind of feel like is that lately you've been going through this phase where you kind of feel cut off from what it is that brings you passion and joy. You feel isolated from this kind of energy. And I feel like you're in this transitional phase, again, with the reference to the 10/1. I feel like this has concluded, but the next venture hasn't started yet. And this might be because maybe you're unaware of what your next project is going to be, your next, you know, hobby, your, you know, what's next for you in romance. Because I feel like this was a shift, right? It's kind of has this almost like conclusion energy of like what I used to want to do. It's like I did everything I wanted to do with it. Or, like, because I'm noticing too, there's this stack and then there's this little mini stack, right? But the cat's looking over here. It kind of has this energy of like, I made this and then I've started on this, but like the cat's still looking at what it did. So I feel like you're in this like kind of, and I know it's a really weird way to put this, but this in between place of like, okay, I finished up this cycle that I know I needed to finish up, and I'm trying to find inspiration in something new. I'm trying to find excitement. I'm trying to find, you know, people to share it with. I'm trying to find, you know, this might be like having a creative hobby that you're trying to monetize and you're having a hard time getting a community to follow you. This could be where, you know, it's like what I used to do isn't really doing it for me anymore, but I haven't found anything new that kind of takes, you know, a similar place. I feel like you've been very patient, but I feel like you're kind of just like hanging in there with this little cat image, trying to like trying to find your next big thing, your next inspiration, your next, like I said, hobby, you know, the next thing you can get just so freaking stoked about. I feel like you're looking for that. And with this strength card, what your team really wants you to know is to, well, as we mentioned, to hang in there, you know, and this one says more effort will get you what you want. And for you guys, I don't think it's necessarily like you're not putting in enough effort. I just feel like it's kind of a patience game at this point. This is also, I feel, an encouragement to kind of get outside your comfort zone. If you've been thinking about trying a new thing, go for it, right? And for some of you, I really feel like try things that you would never have thought to try before, right? Because I'm looking at, look at this. We have very distinct different colors here in this deck, but these colors are very similar. They're in a similar palette. So I'm kind of feeling like this was so fulfilling because it was so multifaceted, right? And with whatever this new cycle is, or this kind of in-between cycle, I feel like it's kind of either like it's only half formed and you're kind of waiting for it to kind of burst forth into full color, or like because also too, look at the colors on the Peruvian lily. They're very similar to this color palette. So this might just be an encouragement to sort of get outside of your comfort zone, especially if a lot of these things that you like to do, a lot of your passions are things you do alone. It might be time to really start to branch out and try to connect with a community. And I also really like this card here, you know, the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless I am, free I am. I know it's talking about, you know, their faith in general. But what I'm kind of getting here is that this is like faith in trying new things. I feel like this is, you know, branching out and, what did I say? This is like branching out and giving it a shot. Because there's something here where there's a little bit of fear blocking this next step forward, and that's what I feel like is almost like creating this isolation energy. Even if you don't feel isolated, it feels like there's something where it's like you're lacking this passion, you're lacking this drive, you're lacking this excitement. There's some aspect to which, because something I'm getting here is this need to express yourself. Again, most likely creatively, but not exclusively. There's this need for like this passionate self-expression. And so even if you don't feel necessarily isolated in your life at large, I feel like there's an area of your life where you're kind of holding back. And I feel like it's for fear of trying new things or trying things in a new way, right? So maybe if, like I said, you're used to working alone, this would be like branching out and working with other people, especially with all the different colors here, people who are very, very different. Like there's a wide variety of people, and people who may be very, very different than yourself. Another thing that I'm kind of getting is that, you know, with the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. Is that just to know also with this transition card that you are going through this transitional period, and you're kind of going to be getting that spark back. You're going to be getting that inspiration, that opportunity, you know, that lucky break. If it's like something like, you know, you have a content channel and you're trying to get more subscribers, things like that. Like you are going to have a lucky break, and just to go for it. Because again, I feel like there's something where you're starting something but you're also kind of looking back at what you've already made, what you've already done. And this is saying, put your intention and your faith into the project ahead, right? Because again, I feel like with this transition image, like you're right here, right? And they're like, okay, now you got to keep taking the steps forward, right? That's how you get to the place you want to go to. And any fears you might have, especially about your authentic self-expression, like don't worry about it, essentially, which is so much easier said than done. It's very simple but not easy. But your team really wants you to know, especially I'm really drawn into the fork here too, because it's like the fork is the most intentional of utensils, right? No, but you have to like spear stuff, and like what I'm kind of getting here is like just go for it, just start like forking stuff. Because you're gonna get something, right? And I know it's a really, really weird image, but like the overall message, which I'm taking forever to make my point here, so thank you if you're still paying attention and listening to my derivative babble, is that I feel like there's fear holding you back from something that you want to try, or at least from taking the next steps on this journey. toward what it is that you really authentically desire, what you could get passionate about, what you could get excited about, and the time to move forward and act and to not judge yourself or doubt yourself is now. And I feel like over the next lunar month for the collective, we're going to be getting a lot more understanding about what it is that we most deeply want. We're going to be getting more inspired again. Excuse me. With the hummingbird, we may have a lot more energy going on all of a sudden. Another thing I'm getting with all of these cups is that things might kind of start like just like stacking up, falling into place. But things are finally moving forward in an area where they've been very, very stagnant, where we felt kind of depleted, and where we felt kind of, I don't know, I'm getting like kind of, you know, again, let's like isolation, run down, closed off, maybe very hermit mode. We're going to be kind of, you know, we're going to be kind of like externalizing ourselves, expressing ourselves, bringing ourselves out to the world more than we have prior, or any blockages in these areas are going to come up this month to really help you move into this place of getting aligned with your authentic passions and that authentic expression. So yeah, that's super duper cool. And with that, I'm going to go to the actual pick a card portion of our reading today. There we go. And I'm going to start with my lovely little group ones. So, me in frame because I'm so good at messing that up. Yeah, awesome. Okay, hello group one. All right, let's see what you got because I am not picking up much for channeling. I want to see what's going on here. Ooh, okay. Divine Masculine. Can you see that? Oh, sorry about the glare, you guys. This is card 22. So this one says, the frequency of Divine Masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. Very much what we were talking about in the collective channeled information. You also have card 22 here. This is a master number that reduces to a 4, but the 22nd, which is going to be the 22222 portal is, I feel like, going to be very, very significant for this group if you're attracted to this group. Well, let me see what else you have because I want to look at all of it first. Oh, you have happiness. I love it. Love, love, love it. Okay, how do I want to do this? I might move stuff around, but you know what? That's okay. You have the presence of love will always cast out fear. Oh, I love that. Beautiful. Y'all got pleasure. This is card 9, by the way. I'll stop being a dingus. I apologize. And you have Orange Blossom with enthusiasm. The best can be here. Believe it. Oh, this is already such a positive pile. I love this. Okay, and so for your tarot, you have the 10 of Wands. All right, I see. This is the Cat Tarot. I think it's just called the Cat Tarot. It's really cute, though. Oh, shit. Okay, you've got the Tower reversed. And, ooh, the High Priestess. So two majors and a 10. Okay. Let me just make sure you can see it. Yeah, okay. Slowly but surely getting better at keeping shit in the frame because that's tough for me. Okay, pardon my cough. So, first of all, you know, I have to say, because we have Divine Masculine, presence of love will always cast out fear. And we have pleasure, and we have 2 people pictured on this. If you're dealing with a relationship, especially if you have been waiting for a Divine Masculine to kind of make their move, I do feel like this is coming up over the next month for you folks. So the biggest thing I'm seeing here, 10 of Wands, things have been really difficult, things have been burdensome, things have been just too damn much, right? And I feel like you've really had to tap into this presence of love, and really choose love-based vibrations over more fear-based ones. And I think this has not always been easy. In whatever circumstance and scenario, it doesn't just have to be love. But in general, I see that this has just been a very, very challenging cycle. And I think it's really interesting the cat over here is looking at the Tower reversed. So I say this all the time if you've ever gotten a personal reading with me, where, you know, the Tower is kind of like, you know, this is when something's built up on an unstable foundation. And when it is, this is when the universe is sending us like signs and signals, and our intuition's telling us that it's not good, it's not solid, it's not going to be a stable thing. We probably do not proceed. And we kind of either we're misinterpreting the signs, or we're just straight up ignoring them, or we're kind of we're in denial. There we go. We're just like delaying the inevitable. And so the Tower upright is when we're not getting it. We're not taking the hint here from Spirit. We've all done it. No shame, no shade, girl. But like when we're kind of not taking the hint from Spirit, and then Spirit's like, okay, fine, I'll do it myself. We'll do it live. Like, that's kind of the energy. And I always say the Tower upright is pretty much the spiritual equivalent of like the universe coming over and like knocking you down and then like dumping out your purse all over the ground. This is not fun. But when it's reversed, I think this is more positive, because this to me is like you're seeing the signs, you're seeing what needs to change, you're seeing what's not working, and you're taking matters into your own hands. And that may very well be this divine masculine energy as well, right? So across the board, regardless of how this resonates for you, and I'll kind of get into more things that I see as we go, there's been this really, really difficult cycle, and I feel like you're taking charge with this divine masculine energy. You're taking charge to create your own happiness. You're really following your intuition with the High Priestess. And you're making your life a space you want to be in, a space that brings you pleasure, right? Like I talk about this a lot, but sometimes it helps me to conceptualize my life as like an actual, like a physical space, right? Because it's an energetic space, and we live in our life. It's like our little house. So as much as possible, it's important to really try to, decorate and cultivate a life environment that you want to live in, right? Because otherwise, as grim as it sounds, what's the point of being here, right? If we can't find a shred of enjoyment, pleasure, meaning, significance, or happiness in our lives, what are we doing? What are we living for? And it's again it's a simple concept, yet not an easy one. But I feel like if you pick this group, you've really been taking notice of the burdens in your life and what makes you feel drained, and what makes you feel like this cat looks like they're just like not having any of it. This is like the opposite of this enthusiasm and happiness, right? And I feel like you've been really taking note of like, what is draining to me? What is burdensome to me? What do I hold on to out of, fear, obligation, guilt, shame? Like what am I putting on myself that I don't need to be carrying anymore? And I feel like you're listening to your intuition about this. Excuse my burp, I'm so sorry. And as a result, the changes that you're making, either the epiphanies you're having this month and the subsequent changes that come from those epiphanies, or any changes that you're already making, are going to be very, very blessed. This is going to be, if you chose this group, this next lunar month is going to be a really good time to make any changes in your life that you feel like will support your own happiness, right? With the presence of love will always cast out fear. Excuse my cough. I do feel like in the divine masculine energy, if you've been kind of on the fence about whether or not to take a leap on something, to start a new project, anything that you're very excited about, anything that you feel like would bring you a lot of happiness, fulfillment, a lot of pleasure, a lot of joy, kind of be that spark of inspiration, this month is a really fortuitous time to take action toward that, start to take steps toward that, because I feel like you've been in this observation mode and you've been kind of seeing the signs and feeling this intuitively, and then this month is going to be really a time to start, what I'm hearing is reaching for your own happiness, your own joy, and it will be a lot closer than you think, right? Because they're showing me somebody trying to pick an apple off a tree, and like as they go to reach for it, the tree like shrinks down, so they barely have to reach for the apple at all. And that's kind of the energy I'm picking up here. Now, the other thing I'm seeing here, because we have divine masculine, we have two people pictured on this pleasure card, and if you look really closely at this High Priestess, there's two candles. So I gotta say it. Some of you are asking about divine connection because this is full moon in Leo, so we do have romance on the board. For those of you who are in a connection and it's been draining, it's kind of had it's been going through a difficult cycle, I feel like this has prompted you to really be asking yourself, okay, this is kind of, I don't want to say, it's kind of shit or get off the pot energy. I'm going to be real. And not necessarily like getting off the pot, but like I feel like this is, I got to stop using this analogy. I feel like this month is going to be a really powerful time to really take a close look at your connection. Because I do feel like this connection brings you a lot of happiness, but it's been very, very burdensome, or you've been going through a very challenging cycle, and all relationships have that ups and downs. And I think what keeps you holding on is that you do, when things are good, when they're, you know, you're in a good vibration with this person, there's a lot of happiness, there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of zest here, but that doesn't negate the fact that things are heavy, things are difficult. And I feel like this month you're really going to be seeing a lot of signs and intuitively feeling very strongly the next steps for what you need to do to make this relationship work, or what needs to be different, what needs to change in order to make this relationship work. And I feel like you and your person will be talking about what that looks like. I feel like you're going to be very results oriented, very action oriented with this divine masculine energy. And you're going to be making, there's going to be forward movement. The energy is going to be moving, and I do feel like it's going to alleviate some of this pressure. For others who have been really trying to manifest a particular connection in their life, whether it's, you know, a divine counterpart or manifest somebody back into your life, I do feel like there is going to be movement forward in that energy, especially the more you can focus on your happiness and your enthusiasm. So again, that like Leo 5th house energy, really be in this energy of love, this, you know, vibration of love, what brings you happiness, what feels very abundant with all the flowers here as well. Is going to help attract this into your life. With the High Priestess here as well, and the Tower reverse, I feel like, again, you've been going through some big changes. You've been making some really big shifts in your life and valuing and prioritizing your own happiness, you know, what excites you, what brings you joy, and living more and more in this vibration of love and less in that of fear, and taking action toward your own happiness, being an active participant in your happiness. And as a result, I think this is what's making room for this connection to kind of start to manifest in your life, right? And so with the High Priestess here, if you are looking to manifest a special connection in your life or back into your life, this is going to be a really important month to follow any intuitive hints you get. So like, let's say, you know, you're driving to work and you're like, I could stop for coffee, you know, at this place that I normally go to, or I could stop at this one where I sometimes go to. If you have the intuitive hint to stop at the other one, stop there, right? If you have that intuitive feeling like you need to, any action that you feel intuitively led to take, do it. And do so with confidence with that Leo energy as well, because I feel like a lot of big, beautiful shifts and changes are on the horizon for you over the next lunar month. I feel like this will be a time of celebration as well. Like there's just going to be a lot of like lighter energy than there has been, because you've been going through this very difficult cycle. But it does, like I said, require your participation. So when you're able to, and when you feel intuitively prompted to take action toward doing, you know, maybe spending time with friends or doing activities, hobbies that you love, trying new things, just really getting into that spirit of, you know, that zest, that zeal for life, that passion, do so, because it's going to be very fortuitous for you in the upcoming month. So I hope this has been helpful for you. This is all I have for group 1 right now. If you're looking for a full moon reading for yourself, like I mentioned, the link is in the description box below, as well as my general shop link in case you're interested in any of my other readings. It's been an honor, a joy, and a delight to get to read for you today, and I'm wishing you all the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. I'm going to move on to group 2. Bye. Okay. Hi, group 2. Okay. Just want to take a little breath. Blah, that thing. I'm almost trying to fix the little selenite towers. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. How are you guys doing? So maybe adjustments need to be made, because I was not bothered by any of this until the second I started here. You might be feeling a little bit antsy, a little anxious. This kind of has that hurry up and wait feeling, like maybe you're waiting to hear news about something and you're kind of just trying to keep yourself busy. But I was like totally fine about this until I started like to get into the energy here. Excuse my burp. Yeah, because I know you can't see my body language, but I'm like I'm doing what I call squirrel hands, where I like keep my hands clasped and they're like close to my body with my little T-Rex arms kind of a thing right now. So I call it squirrel hands because it's like what squirrels do when they're holding like their little acorns and they're chewing on them. Yeah, that's kind of like, I don't know, it gives me this kind of like slightly nervous but excited energy. This feels like you're waiting on something. You're waiting to hear like some type of answer, communication, verdict, something like that. Yeah, so let's see what you have, because I'm nosy. I want to know more. So you guys have, ooh, dynamic. Okay, so this is card 23, and that reduces to a 5. And this one says, the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects, God, that's hot, okay, of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that's made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. Oh, I love that. Okay. Y'all have, yikes. Ooh, energy. Okay, so there's a lot of energy going on here. Yeah, I like feel like there's a lot going on, but everything is also contained. And I feel like a lot of you probably know this, where it's like there's a lot of energy, but like everything is fine, and you ultimately feel that deep down. Ooh, victory, divine helpers. Can you guys see that with the little ring light? Here you go. So this is card 15 that reduces to a 6. I like it. I like it quite a lot. Then we have, I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. And we have Foxglove Confidence. Be what you want to see. I love this. This is excellent. And for your tarot, we have, there she is, the Queen of Wands. I love it. The 7 of Pentacles reversed. Sorry, I was having trouble reading the Roman numerals upside down for some reason. Okay, 7 of Pentacles reversed, and the Magician. Oh, I like this, you guys. Okay, this is really, really nice. So for you guys, I feel like this is very much a creative project, or very much about work. I could also see this being something where I feel like it's got like a material manifestation, but there's also, it's like a spiritual thing for you, right? So this could be like you're following your divinely guided path in your career, right? So it has a material manifestation of what's going on in your career, but it's also about, you know, your spiritual growth, your spiritual journey. This is really nice. So for a lot of you, I feel like you've put something out here with dynamic. And we have the triangle here. That's always the shape about manifestation to me. And I like all the concentric circles in the middle. This is something where I feel like it's had many cycles. It has a lot of layers, and we kind of see this very similar vibe going on with energy. There's like a lot of energy going on in here, but it's also very contained. I feel like you put something out there that's very, very different. This card sometimes reminds me of the Temperance card a little bit, in the sense that it's, you know, blending things that are familiar and completely new, you know, many different elements sort of a thing, and you're blending them all together to make magic, right? And so, excuse me, and to make alchemy as well. And we see this with all the warm colors mixed with the cool colors. This feels like there's something where you've created this thing, and I feel like you've at least put it out there a little bit. And I do feel like this is going to have, with all the circles, this is going to have quite a ripple effect. And this is why I feel like there's this, excuse me, this hesitant excitement a little bit, this cautious optimism, because I feel like you can feel this. You're like, I know this could be a thing, right? So maybe you put out an idea at work and you're like, this could be a really great thing. And if my idea is accepted, you know, I might be able to be next in line for that promotion, or like maybe I'll get to lead a team doing XYZ, or if this is like a creative project that you're putting out there to the public, it's like, okay, I think I've got something different to offer. I have something like really, really cool. Like, you're excited about your idea, but I do still feel like there's a certain element of timidity in your excitement, which is fine. That's totally understandable, because I feel like you're doing, like I said, something very different, something that you don't see every day, something that maybe shouldn't work together, but it does. And with this, I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. This is an intuitive pull that you have been feeling. This is what has led you to starting whatever this is, even if you haven't put it out there to the public yet. You've taken steps to, like, the seeds have been sown for this idea. And with the foxglove here with confidence, you know, be what you want to see. I feel like this is something where I almost get the sense whatever this idea is, and I feel like this will be confirmation for some of you. This idea stems from something that you wish you had access to. It's one of those things where you're like, God, I could really use XYZ. And then, you know, finding out like, why hasn't anybody done that, right? Like, it's almost this energy of like, if I hadn't created it, I would have totally bought this, right? Or like, if I wasn't creating it, I would like, you know, it's through your own experience that you discover this kind of like nice little rabbit hole in the market, so to speak. Or, you know, this nice little niche where you could kind of swoop in there with your idea and do something completely new. And this is why I feel like you're a little nervous, a little timid, because you're doing something that's a little outside the box and it's exciting. I do want to mention really quick, for some of you, dragonflies might be a synchronicity in this situation or in general. We do have feminine fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius with the Queen of Wands, and with the Magician, we have Gemini and Virgo represented here as well. So what I feel like is happening here is, again, this Queen of Wands, she is so special. She is, I was just making sure we're in frame. She's the, you know, she's a sparkly person. She's also a wonderful entrepreneur. She's very gregarious, very social, very confident in herself. She can attract anything to her because she's the life of every party. Everybody wants to know her. Everybody wants to be her. Everybody wants to spend time with her. And she's super creative, right? That's why the King and Queen of Wands are phenomenal networkers and really great entrepreneurs, especially with anything with, like, you know, creative content or anything like that, where they're, you know, they're being a public personality. And we see this with this victory energy right here, being like a public personality. This is what the King and Queen of Wands are meant to do. They're charismatic as fuck. But the cat here is asleep. So again, it feels like this is something where you have this Queen of Wands energy, and this is what's created your masterpiece, your baby here. But I do feel like y'all are sleeping on your excellence just a little teeny tiny bit. And so maybe this is something where you have formulated the idea, because I'm noticing the fire is like roaring here, right? So maybe this is where like you have the passion for this, you have the drive, you have the idea, and there's like with the huge logs, it's like this is well fueled, right? There's a lot of energy behind this, like a lot of energy behind this. And I think the only last little piece here is your confidence in yourself, right? And this is why we have this foxglove card of like, you just need to be confident enough in yourself to take the next step in this process. And there's victory assured for you, right? And I feel like the fear here with the Seven of Pentacles reversed is like, what I'm almost picking up is this fear of like, I've put so much into this already. I've invested so much into this already, and I don't want to put it out there and have it fail. It's kind of like that concept of like, if it's still just in its energetic form, if it's still just in my mind, if it's still just kind of on paper, it doesn't have the opportunity to fail, and it still gets to kind of like, my dream is still alive kind of a thing. And yes, that's not true. But then your dream never gets to be real. And I feel like over the next month, any blockages in your confidence moving forward are going to kind of be what's coming up in order to be healed. And this might be where, you know, you just like somebody says the right thing at the right time. If you're waiting, like let's say you've pitched an idea or like put out for a contract of some sort, you're waiting for news back. I do feel like you're going to be getting news, likely very positive news, over the next lunar month, or just anything that's the next step forward. Okay, hang on. Sorry, let me back up. You are going to be prompted to take the next step forward on the journey of grounding and actualizing this idea, this concept that you have, right, that you've already put so much energy and invested so much into. So whether this is, you know, getting the confidence to present something, you know, getting the confidence to put something out into the public, like into the public eye, or just start like more confidently speaking up for yourself. There's something where it's like it's what you have to say, what you are bringing to the table, what you're creating has a lot of really interesting points to it that are both kind of like again, I feel like you're something a little different, and what you have to say is different. So whatever this is that you're looking to pursue, there's a lot of like different energies kind of all melded together in this, and this is why it's going to be really interesting for people, is because it's not just one-sided, or like it's multifaceted. There we go, multidimensional as well. And so ending with the Magician is perfect, because this really says that you're at the height of your manifestation power. You can manifest anything you want, right? You are highly empowered, especially with the Mercury energy. Your ideas are very powerful. And I like that there's kind of the allusion here to the laurel wreath in this particular card, because there's not many cards in the tarot that have the laurel wreath, which is the sign of victory, right? And again, with this victory card here, and this kind of almost Six of Wands image, what I'm hearing is guaranteed to have success in this idea, in this project, in this new venture, right? And even if this new venture is just getting in touch with your confidence for yourself, right? Getting in touch with, like really flying your flag and owning it. Putting yourself out there to the world as your authentic self and having an incredible amount of confidence in that is one of the most powerful things that we can do in this lifetime. And I feel like you've already come really far on this journey. And the Seven of Pentacles to me in this particular situation kind of has this energy of like, don't have come all this way just to stop now. Like, look how many people are in the background of this card, and there's the, like the guides handing you the stars, and the people on either side of you. Like, people both embodied and in the spirit realm are rooting for you. Like, don't stop now, especially if it's been a really long personal journey to get to this point in your life. You've already done the majority of the hard work, and now all that is left really is to step out and own it. And you've got everything you need to really, turn this flame into a fire and really keep it going. I feel like there's a lot of longevity in this. Yeah. So I love that. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you need help with, if you're looking for a full moon reading for yourself personally, the link for that, as well as my general shop link with all my other readings, is in the description box below. It has been an honor, a joy, and a delight to get to read for you fine folks today. And I am wishing you guys the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. Bye. Hi, group 3. Okie dokie. I'm just kind of tuning in here. So I'm seeing like a lot of blue. I feel like there's a really deep understanding. I don't know why I'm talking like this. I feel like there's a really deep understanding that you folks are coming into awareness of, that's going to help you find a lot more peace and a lot more joy out of life. And like a lot more, not even just joy, it's also like satisfaction out of life, especially if you've been feeling kind of apathetic, bored, stagnant, kind of just, for lack of a better term, honestly, just kind of like empty, spiritually especially, spiritually and like mentally, like, right, like, just, I don't know, there's something, because they're showing me the Four of Cups, something you just kind of felt like a little bit like, yeah, empty is really the best word. I do feel like there is this very deep spiritual truth and understanding. I'm trying not to burp, sorry. That's going to be, I'm hearing, is solidifying itself in your awareness over the next month. So this might be something that you've been kind of coming to these conclusions on your own, or you kind of have gotten bits and pieces of it, maybe intuitively in those little moments of the day where you sort of zone out and then you snap back. But it feels like it hasn't fully come into form yet. And over the next month, I think you're going to be getting very comfortable with whatever this truth is for you. And I feel like it's going to allow you to make peace with something that's going on, some situation in your life, in order to, like, because they're showing me building like a solid foundation, right? In order to move forward, and in order to find more comfort, more understanding, more meaning, and more acceptance in your life. So this feels like a very spiritual a very spiritual month for you guys coming up. And I don't think a lot of it's going to be big, like tower moment, like pah, epiphany kind of things. I think it's going to be very slowly and very gradually. I think a lot of work is going to be done in the astral as well. So, and the thing is, I feel like for most of you, you're not going to be able to remember these dreams. You ever have it where you wake up one morning and you know you dreamt, but you don't remember what you dreamt, but you have this very profound feeling of depth when you wake up? I feel like it's going to be a lot like that, where you're like, wow, I know I was dreaming something and I don't know what it was, but I feel different as a person today. This is what's going on. So I'm using my serious voice. So let's see what you have. Yeah, okay, you have root chakra. Try not to burn my cards. So this is card 1. We have the frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. Yes. Let's see what else you have. Oh, okay, you have anger. Interesting. You have, oh yeah, you guys are the only group that got 2 of these cards. But I'm not going to look at them yet. You have, yeah, look at that, restriction. Okay, this is card 28, so that reduces to a 10, which reduces to a 1. So we have 1 showing up twice. So you guys had, oh, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. Okay. I think I know where this is going. And we have an eye there and an eye there. An eye for an eye. Oof, yikes. And then we have, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Okay, so seeing the world through, you know, with the focus being on love is a huge thing here. We'll talk more about it, but yeah. And then you have Zinnia, absence. What is not here is the key. Okay. You guys have the 5 of Pentacles. This is the cat tarot, by the way. She's so cute. Wow, you have the King of Pentacles. Okay. And, oof, Judgment reverse. All right. This is a big one. You guys are my serious pile this time. My very, very spiritual serious pile. You guys see everything? Hooray! Oh, I've been working so hard on it, you guys. Okay, so I want to make note really quickly. With King of Pentacles, we have masculine earth energy, so this could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This could be you or someone you're dealing with. I feel like, so I'm going to come out straight out the gate. The first thing I'm hearing is, if this is a person you're dealing with, this person is a karmic relationship in your life. For some of you, I feel like this person is a parent, as in a parent, not a parent, though they may be both. This is somebody who you either had a massive falling out for, or falling out with, excuse me, or there's been a lot of very difficult, angry exchanges here with the, it's really interesting. The 5 of Pentacles usually depicts like this, like, raggedy, you know, 2 people. They're on crutches, they're bandaged, they're bloody, they're bruised, they're, you know, tattered clothes in the snow. And it can be a lot about not having enough, especially materially and spiritually. But in terms of relationships, it can sometimes signify somebody who, you know, is loyal to you through thick and thin, right? But look at this. These ones, they're facing off, right? And it's over these like 5 little cat treats. And so this one in particular always feels like a power struggle. This particular version of the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel like this person, you and this person have had a lot of power struggles. And again, with this restriction card, this is always kind of like a karmic energy to me. And this person has this image where like there's the little guy that's in their head that's like locked away, right? And I feel like the relationship you've had with this person has gone through a few different cycles with the 10 energy going on there. I do feel like a cycle has concluded, and I feel like you're trying to, with the idea of like the spiritual truth, I feel like you're really trying to understand this person. I feel like you've been trying to find forgiveness for them, or like trying to find some type of, because what I was really drawn to with the root chakra is that this is also talking about, you know, our in addition to like our physical bodies, our physical world, I feel like this is also somebody who, or this also can talk about our feelings of security in the universe. And I talk about this a lot with the Five of Pentacles. If you've ever gotten a personal reading with me, which thank you for all those who have. You know, there are two Pentacles cards that depict a religious background. One is the Three of Pentacles, and then we have the Five of Pentacles. And where the Three of Pentacles is kind of about you, you know, and another person and spirit all being in a partnership, right? You know, doing spirits work together, or like building something together that's in alignment with your soul path. The Five of Pentacles to me is like not only feeling like you don't have enough materially, or like you feel like you're out in the cold in terms of relationships, but it's also to me like you almost feel through this process, you almost feel abandoned by spirit, because this one usually depicts that couple I was talking about, and they're walking past a cathedral, and they're like in the snow, they're cold, they don't, you know, they don't have warm clothes, they're hurting, they don't have shoes on, it's just a bad time, right? And I have noticed there's like 5 little cat treats here, right? So to me, and they're in a home, right? They have everything they need. These are just extra. And to me, this kind of feels like this is, a lot of the bickering between you and this person, a lot of the problems, a lot of the fighting is a power struggle about who gets, I don't want to say gets their way, that's not it. But it's like if you guys do things really differently, for example, it's like who gets to do it their way, right? And with the image here too, with the line across this little fault line, I feel like this is something where you've tried before, or there's been an attempt to patch this up before, and it's like it just keeps breaking. And I feel like you're getting to the point where you're really angry with this person, because what I'm almost getting here is like, it's like, because there's, you know, like I said, 5 cat treats. 2 could go to this cat, 2 could go to this cat, and there would be 1 they'd have to decide on. So they're both getting extra stuff, right? They're both getting like a good number of treats, but it kind of has this feeling of like, it's not about like necessarily feeling materially insecure for many of you. It's just like, it's the power struggle of it all, where it's like, why can't you just sometimes give me the extra cat treat? Why can't you just let me do it my way sometimes? Why can't you ever, it's like you can't ever listen to my ideas. You can't ever listen to, like, it kind of has that energy, right? Where it's like, this is an extra thing. This isn't like life or death. And so that's why I feel like this has gone on so long, is because it's not something you can easily point to and be like, you're doing something wrong, right? Or like, you know, it feels like this is very hard to pin down, right? Because you know, the King of Pentacles is usually somebody who's very generous, very loving, very, you know, very giving and nurturing in that way. But one of his kind of more shadowy attributes is that he can be kind of stubborn and like to do things his own way to a fault. And where this cat is like got its little face in the jar, it's not looking at anything else, right? So this kind of has a feeling that whoever you're dealing with can be prone to be a little stubborn, and likes to do things the way they like to do them, no matter what. And I feel like this person has a hard time listening to your suggestions, listening to your ideas, listening to what you have to say. And it feels like you end up just like fighting and bickering over little, you know, seemingly insignificant, or, you know, possibly even petty things, in your estimation. And I kind of feel like with Judgment reversed here, like, I feel like you're deciding whether or not you want to try to revive this connection. And I feel like also too, I'm really drawn to the feather. Your angels are sending you signs about this, about what to do about this situation. For many of you, I feel as if you're going to opt not to, I feel like for many of you, either you're going to opt not to renew this, like to go through another cycle with this person, or you have already decided that and you're trying to kind of come to terms with it. Because we have the Zinnia, we have absence, right? What is not here is the key. And I feel like you and this person have some element of separation, whether you're outright, you know, not talking, you haven't seen each other in a while, or there's just a lot of distance. It's like there's a definitive barrier. And again, with this image, it's like I've already tried to patch this up before, and it's almost like your eyes are open now, where you're just like, you guys are looking at each other for the first time. And I feel like your impression of the situation is that it's like we can't solve this. We're just going to be going around in this circle forever and ever and ever, right? And I think with this Judgment card, you've realized this and you're trying to make a judgment call about how to handle things with this situation. And obviously, you know, always use your own intuition, heed your own inner counsel above that of all others, including myself. But what Spirit really wants you to know is that you're in this kind of like tricky spot. This is a sticky wicket for you in the sense that you're being encouraged with the Judgment card to trust your judgment, right? Like I said, you're being given signs about this. So when you're in those calm moments, whatever it is you feel like you need to do in this situation, you are right. And again, for many of you, I feel like you've come to the conclusion, or you're going to come to the conclusion, that you need to let this person go. Because I feel like this person keeps you stuck in your head, questioning yourself a lot, right? And again, I feel like it's very small, insidious little things where it's like, you know, and I'm noticing too, we have the little cat treats in the jar, and they're all over here. This person, whoever you're dealing with, it's like they have things their way all the time, and they do this because they don't feel safe with this root chakra. They don't feel secure in themselves, possibly in the material world. You know, they don't feel like the universe is looking out for them. And so they kind of, whenever there's like extra wiggle room, they try to take that. They try to take some feeling of power and control back. And I don't think they do this intentionally to be selfish. I think they just do this unconsciously. Because it's like that's all they can see, again, with, you know, the eyes kind of closed and into the jar anyway. They can't see beyond their feelings of comfort and security. And that's not fair to you, right? But it definitely has like this power struggle energy of like, can you just let me have the extra cat treat sometimes? Or like, can you just give me a little bit of extra? You have all of this. Or like, we always do it your way. Can you just do it my way sometimes? Or like, you know, can you just be considerate of what I want sometimes? Is kind of the energy. And I feel like you're, again, in this very sticky place where it's like deciding whether or not to let this person go. And there's this intense anger and frustration. For some of you, you might share a home with this person, or you may used to share a home with this person. You may run a business with this person. And with that 5th house energy of Leo coming into play, you might have children with this person. You may have had a very long-term relationship with this person as well. That's kind of what I'm getting. But with these 2 cards, you know, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. And then when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. I feel like you've been really working on trying to both to let this person go with compassion, or to let the situation go with compassion, because I feel like you don't want to be stuck and imprisoned in your head about this anymore. And if you've been like, you know, if you've been working on that, and even if you haven't, I do feel like that clarity that you need in order to kind of wipe the slate clean, and again, have that good foundation to move forward in peace, and in that kind of serenity, is coming in for you over the next month. And I feel like you're going to be coming into this place where you are going to be, especially if you and this person are not talking or not in the same place or space, I feel like that's giving some room for the energy to breathe. And over the next month, you're going to kind of be coming into this like illumination and awareness where you're going to be able to trust your judgment about the situation. So if that means putting up certain boundaries, doing that. If that means, you know, going your own separate way and not being in contact with this person at all, that means doing that. Or if, you know, it's like having them in your life and just being able to let go of certain things that have happened in the past. It's going to be different for everybody just because your situations are all different. This is a general read. But I feel like you're going to be coming into this really nice balance over the next lunar month where you're able to, whatever I'm hearing betrayal, whatever betrayal, hurt, anger this person has caused you, I feel like you're going to be really working through that through understanding over the next month. And you're going to finally be getting the peace and the answers you've been seeking from this situation. And I'm hearing, let that not deter you, though, once again, from really trusting your judgment. So even if you're able to see this person with compassion and love, but you feel like you need to let them go for your own well-being, don't be afraid to make that judgment call. And especially with the absence card here as well, don't be afraid to take space from this person over the next month if you need to figure it out. Because, as I talked about before, Leo is it's a very heart-centered sign, but it's also very much about our passions and our inspirations. And I feel like this person's antics, and I'm hearing unintentional selfishness, take up a lot more of your time and energy than you might realize, or they kind of like cause you to doubt yourself a lot more than you'd realize. And I feel like it's time to let them go, because I feel like it's time to have that uninhibited connection to your own passion, and to, what I'm hearing is like self-validation. So validating your own ideas, validating your own, sense of joy in this life, because this person's opinions of you, or, what they have to say, or how they, how they judge your contributions, has really created this restrictive mindset for you. And this is, again, why I feel like it's very, very insidious. It happens very slowly and very, minutely at first. And I feel like you've opened your eyes to this, and this is why there's this anger. And if not, that might be happening, honestly, over the next month. But the main message here is that you're going to be coming into greater awareness about this situation. I feel like you're going to be coming into the entire reason why this person has been in your life is to help facilitate this very important spiritual understanding, this very important truth, right? I do feel like, again, this person is a karmic relationship in your life, whether it's, it's a family, romance, a friendship, an old boss or something. This person had lessons to teach you about trusting yourself, trusting your own judgment, and boundary setting, and being very confident in yourself and what you're bringing to the table, and in your, in being able to trust your own judgment of what makes you happy and what makes you feel crummy, and navigating your life with that difference in mind, and setting boundaries with that difference in mind. That's this person's purpose in your life. Or one of the purposes they have in your life is to teach you lessons regarding these subjects, and to have confidence in yourself in going after what makes you happy, and not letting difficult people and situations cloud the light of love that you have for people in general. And this is why I feel like this is a very significant relationship in your life. So that's why I was thinking parent at first, is because I feel like this falling apart, or this like disintegration of the relationship, felt like kind of a big betrayal, and maybe has clouded a little bit of your vision toward the rest of the world. It's kind of this energy of like, well, if you turned out to be selfish, or you were trying to kind of, screw me over, what else is there, right? But this person, I feel like over the next month, you're really going to be coming into a completion in how you view this person and the situation, and you're going to be feeling a lot more peace, a lot more serenity, a lot more happiness. And with the 10 and the 1 imagery, this is to wrap up a cycle in order for you to begin a new one. So I think that is just about everything that I have for you folks. If you are looking for a full moon reading for yourself, the link for that, and then my just general shop link with all my other readings, is in the description box down below. It has been a joy, a blessing, and an honor to get to read for you again. And I'm wishing you all the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. Bye.